Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 638 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles. We got a full crew. We've got Ben Funky Askren, Oliver the Bear of Stone, David Bray, Stephen Kyle Bratke, and we are ready. This is the last FRL of the week, so we got to cram in quite a bit. It's Cadet Week.
Cram.
So that's what we're going to be talking about, cram, Nate Jackson style. So that's why Bray's here, because he knows like all these things. But a couple of things we need to get to first. Ben.
Oh, man. I just opened the dock, and I knew you were going to be on fire, so just breathe fire right now.
Breathe fire. Well, what were your thoughts on the rule changes, Ben?
It was weak. So weak.
So weak. So, if you don't know, check out FloWrestling.org. But the Ncaa Wrestling Rules Committee released their recommendations. And as you know, we've been waging war against the out-of-bounds edge rules since like 2015 because they've been terrible from start up to this point. And Andy did an awesome article where he talked with Rob Cole and Tom Ryan and Brian Smith and Mark Branch, and the general consensus from the coaches is that this is a disaster. That was one of the quotes from Coach Cole. Coach Smith said, "I don't even know what the rules are anymore." This is, one of the best coaches in the country saying he doesn't know the rules. Okay, so after all that and all that feedback from the coaches, all the feedback from the fans, you would assume the feedback from the officials, because they obviously don't freaking know. The recommendation from the rules committee is for continued education and training to both coaches and referees on the proper expectations and application. Translation, it's not our fault, it's your fault. You guys just don't get it. You guys don't get it. You don't understand how smart we are and what a great rule this is. So allow us to educate you further so you can understand it, okay? So they're saying that they're not the problem. The rule is the problem. You guys just don't know. You're just not educated enough. You don't understand it enough. So that to me is like the least accountable solution, the most backwards logic that they could have applied to this situation. And it just shows that's the kind of rules, it's that kind of decision making that shows how you get a rule like you have in the first place with these edge rules. And
yes.
I don't know, I was so annoyed and disappointed. I would rather they didn't even address it than to say, We're gonna offer some education here for the refs and the coaches so that they understand it better. Preposterous.
How weak is that? So weak.
Literally, I think it is the weakest response possible, because they will not look in the mirror and say, this is bad, our idea was bad, it doesn't work. And instead of saying it doesn't work, they're saying, no, it's perfect, it's great. They just don't understand it.
So when we're saying we, who is it a singular person? Is it a committee? Because it appears like all the coaches want to change. So who is the person or persons making that decision finally?
So it's the Ncaa Rules Committee. It's like it's like administrators, officials.
There are coaches on
it. Yeah.
Man, so why can't they figure out how to get it changed?
I have no idea. My gracious, weed's legal in almost every state in the union. We can't get the dang step out approved. What's going on, Ben?
There must be some people who are not very convincing on the committee, because
not at all.
To anyone watching NCAAs, and I have been an anti-step out guy for a long time. And after watching NCAAs, I was even like, we need to do something. It was atrocious. It was terrible. And you guys have been beating that drum for multiple years now.
Yes.
And yet they still refuse to do anything.
Yeah. So we're at least on for one more year of this rule. And I'm not sure the cadence for when rules can be changed, but I feel like they can revisit it next year. They did make some actual changes, but I'm just overall disappointed that this was what they concluded. Andy seemed to think, after talking to people on the committee and talking to coaches, he's like, I feel pretty strongly there's going to be something, some sort of change, some sort of something. And nothing, Burger.
Nothing.
The continued education piece is like, every once in a while they'll put out a new rules video. Here's what we're doing. I mean, even that, and then trying to make sure all coaches and athletes are looking at that video and showing competence in that. It's going to be a giant waste of resources and time as well.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, I remember the first video they put out where they were showing the same things on the mat, and they were calling them differently. I was like, well, that's the whole problem. So anyway, that's a problem. But you know, we're up for one more year of that disaster at least. I think we should just accept it's just a part of our lives forever. The biggest change, I would say, is the change to sudden victory, which now sudden victory 1 is 2 minutes of neutral instead of 1 minute. Which I
thought we did not like that, didn't we?
I don't like it because one, well, Ollie may fight me, which, you know.
Ollie.
What are you gonna do?
Because I'm just thinking about the heavyweight overtime matches where they just stand there for. Now I'm signed up, but it's just because I don't understand that high level hand fight. Is that right?
The details.
Yeah, the details.
I have the rules committee, by the way.
Okay.
So it's 9 members.
4
4 members shall be from Division 1, 2 members from Division 2, 2 members from Division 3, and an additional member shall be a secretary rules editor. So the executive associate athletic director is Jonathan Reeder from App State. So he's the AD at App State.
That's There's another John Reeder.
It's confusing
It's
already.
spelled different.
Very confusing.
Reeder spelled different.
All right.
Is the AD at Appalachian State. John Smith.
Oh,
Which one?
The Oklahoma State
Okay,
John
good.
Smith.
got it.
Really? John Smith? Are you telling me John Smith couldn't look a group of people in the room and tell them you're changing this rule? This rule's been dog shit for 3 years. If you don't change this, I'm gonna get up and whip every one of your asses at this table. Change this rule right now.
Maybe
Tell me
he
that
didn't
didn't
want
happen?
the rule change. I don't know. Then you have the AD at North Dakota State, Jack Moggen, writer head coach.
Hold on. He's the former wrestling coach.
Is he? I didn't know that.
Yes, remember his father was the head wrestling coach there for 30 some plus years. And then he was the head coach for a couple of years before Kish took over.
Gotcha.
Dang. We got a lot of good, smart people on this thing.
Yes.
What's happening?
John Hangy, the writer head coach. Austin DeVoe.
Austin! I got Austin. That's my college teammate. I'm calling him right now.
You
Can you
won't.
give me anything?
Where's he at? Mine?
Yeah, the head coach at Colorado School Mines. Cy Wainwright, the head coach at Newberry College. Brad Brun, I don't know how you State University of New York at Cortland. And Robert Fox, Waynesburg University.
They got Robert Frost.
Well, they
So-
took the.
Did you really
Road less
call
traveled
Austin
by.
DeVoe?
I text him. I can't call him on show.
I thought you were.
That committee should be able to change these rules. Who was telling them they shouldn't change them?
I think the Illuminati's involved. I'm just going to say it. I think the Illuminati, for whatever reason,
Louise.
doesn't like to step out. And they're lording power over this very competent wrestling rules committee. That's the only logical explanation.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
disappointing. I'm not mad at the sudden victory 2 minutes. I'm not like a huge fan of it, but I'm not gonna get upset about it either.
So, the one thing I remember I said was that I know a lot of people like kind of if they're better on top and bottom, they may just wait around till the top bottoms happen. If it's a minute, it's gonna be hard to do for 2 minutes. So I mean that may potentially provide a positive. I mean I think the overall match length makes it. So is it 2 minutes, 30, then another 2 minutes, or is it then 1 minute? And
Then it's
the
1
following
minute.
one? Okay, interesting.
And
I don't hate it.
didn't they propose too that after the first set of write-outs, whoever has more writing time could win?
Oh,
Really? That would be interesting.
I don't see that.
Yes, in addition to the time change, the committee also recommended that one of the wrestlers may be declared the winner after the completion of the first two 30-second tiebreaker periods if either of the wrestlers has at least 1 second of advantage time.
So it wouldn't go to the second set of
Correct.
tiebreakers.
Wow.
But
So if you just
wouldn't
get
go
out
back
faster.
you wouldn't go back to sudden victory.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like if you
Interesting.
both escape, one guy gets out in 5 seconds, the other guy gets out in 10, there would be a
I mean,
winner.
that's gonna make someone want to get a takedown because that is
That's a roll of the dice.
Well, yeah, it's essentially the winner will be determined after this top bottom. It's very very unlikely, obviously, that there will be a tied ride time.
Yeah, unless there's rideouts for both. Man, I know this was always a possibility, but now there's, I guess, more likely you could have an NCAA champion who gets out in 6 seconds instead of 7. Winning an NCAA title would be sort of strange. But I think the point of the rule is to avoid riding time being the deciding factor, which I understand. But the one thing that, listen, they can't re-wrestle the match, right? But my one sort of qualm, I guess, is why we're just ignoring the mat when we go to tiebreakers, when we go to overtime. It's just it's so neutral heavy. But at the end of it, 2 minutes, I guess I'm fine with it. Although I can foresee some of the heavyweight hand fighting. But Ollie, by that point in time, Ollie, and not to be too sizes, because there's plenty of other weight classes that'll do that'll.
And plenty of heavyweights that do some of that don't do that.
You're exactly right. Our man Brandon Metz doesn't know anything about that.
Don't hate on any form of the Mets.
That's right.
Christian, were you a wrestling fan in the year 2000 by any chance?
Mm-mm.
Okay, at the Olympic trials in the year 2000, and I'm blanking on which two guys, but there were 2 Greco heavyweights. And at that point in time, with the rules that you had to score 3 points.
Right.
And if you didn't score, you just kept on wrestling. These guys, I don't know how long it was. It was 30 minutes.
Man, those heavy
forever.
Chevys must have been tuckered out at that point.
That's real warrior wrestling. Everything else, that little scrambling, roll around on your back, do flip over here, that's fake.
Yeah. Okay, so those were some of the changes. The other biggest change is I don't know what to think about it, but the committee is recommending a one-time exemption to the 1.5% weight loss descent plan for a wrestler that moves up 1 weight class to compete. When the exemption is used, the wrestler may weigh in at the higher weight class, and rather than using the 0.5%, the wrestler may compete at the lower weight class after 5 days elapses. So this allows, Caden G. Feller to be a 141, but Bulu Allen's hurt. He can go up to 149 for a duel and then come back down to 141 the next week instead of jacking up his descent plan. So part of me thinks this is good progress in the right direction. The other part of me, I don't understand why it's only one time.
Yeah.
Because it's
why didn't this go all the way?
What's the rationale for only one time? So you can be unhealthy one time in the season, but not multiple?
Yeah.
Why couldn't you do that a couple times throughout the course of the year? That doesn't make sense.
I mean, think about how injuries work. I mean, the example you provide, if Bulu Allen's hurt and Oklahoma State has a duel on Friday and on Sunday, he can choose one of those events?
Yeah.
And that's it? What's the difference? And why not for a couple weeks?
Yeah.
It's just, the one time doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Ben?
It doesn't make sense. I'm glad that it's once. It's better than 0. But I don't know why they didn't go all the way.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Yeah, any other rules changes that stuck out to you? There's something about a 2-hour weigh-in that I don't quite understand, because
I didn't understand it either.
I thought it was already the rule.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really discern.
Well, what about the in-match timing? Is that not a big deal to you? Because that would have probably declared Josh Heil the winner, not Bulu Allen.
Yeah,
Is it my understanding?
what was your
right
understanding of that?
I mean, it's they could have just done that. I don't understand why they couldn't have just done that. The
for
rule
real,
change
though.
that they're proposing, they can essentially go back if there was a timekeeping error. They don't have to do the dead time anymore. They can
Okay.
go back, figure out how much time went off, and put it up on the clock. Which, I mean, they literally do. I've seen officials or table workers be like, "I'm sorry, I didn't start the clock," and the assistant ref's 5 seconds.
Yeah.
We'll start.
Yeah.
We'll
A
start
bunch
the
of
clock.
times.
We'll start the clock after 5 seconds.
I've even
Or
seen
let it run a few extra seconds off when they go out of
Yeah.
bounds to get it to where the
Yeah.
correct time is. They could have done this. To say they couldn't is BS.
I've even seen at
Agreed.
some lower level high school tournaments where it's the coaches and the refs will be like, what do you think? All right, let's put on 7 seconds. That's
Collectively
fair.
bargain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's on Long Island. That wouldn't play at Buffalo Gap.
Well, never mind. I'm not even gonna say it. Not even gonna say it.
That's Ollie's go-to move. Okay. So those are the rules changes. Sort of, there's something. It's not a nothing, but they missed the big thing. Hey, apparently, it's pretty big non-news that's sort of news. Sort of applies to our guy Ben Askren a little bit. Here's
A little bit.
he's funneling quite a few kids to the old Panther train, including one Parker
train.
Keckheisen. So Doug Schwab, who did not apply to the Illinois job was offered the job and turned it down. He says, I'm staying. He says, I'm on the Panther train, which I find to be, one, very admirable, super loyal guy, and two, really interesting that, Illinois is apparently looking, outside, thinking outside the box. And I kind of like the move from Illinois. It's like, listen,
I like it too.
He didn't apply. Listen, that's how the best coaches are pursued. You reach out to them if you want them, make them an offer, get them interested in it. His resume speaks for itself, right? So I kind of like the move from Illinois. Shoot your shot, Coach Schwab stand, which I kind of love. I kind of love it.
Yeah, I like the fact that they're going outside and they're being aggressive. That's something all programs should do. They should just go try to find the best candidate. And I really like Mike Poeta, but obviously I'm not his boss. I don't work with him at University of Illinois. And even if he was doing a great job, I'd probably still say, hey, let me go check out these other 3 or 4 dudes who are also doing a great job, and let me pick the best one. It's really that simple.
Right, and if at the end of the day, when the dust settles, Poeta's your best option, you can always still hire him.
Yes.
That's what I've never understood. Right, when they just
I never got it.
Promote the guy, it's like, well, do you know that? Fake name. Cale Sanderson's not interested. We know he's not. It's not probably a bad example, but like, there's a lot of really good coaches. Shouldn't you make sure that they can't be persuaded to come and join your team?
Make them tell you.
It's really just pure laziness. It's really just pure laziness.
It is laziness, apathy. It's more apathy than laziness. I'm sure that it's both. But so I'm encouraged to see them, go that route.
And as far as Schwab is concerned, I can't really see him ever leaving. Maybe to Iowa if that job ever opened up. But he's from roughly that area. He spent his college time in that area. And I'm sure as the head coach of Northern Iowa, maybe he's not uber wealthy, but he's probably living a really good life. Probably very happy where he's at. No reason to move.
Also, I feel like the fan support in the community, I think that's super unique to you and I. And with Illinois, is it going to have that? Is there ever going to be a rabid fan base for?
Well,
there could be.
There could be. I'm just saying, there's not right now.
There's not right
Not right now.
But you know what? Freaking Kevin Dresser made it in Blacksburg, and Papalizio in Raleigh, North Carolina made wrestling really important there. So you can do it. Mm-hmm. You can definitely do it. But it's not there right now.
Correct.
So,
are we hearing anything else about the job? I feel like things have been quiet there because, I assume they were going in-house.
I heard Tony Ramos applied.
As he should.
It feels like he's too young, though. Doesn't it?
Yeah,
what's he, 29? Am I wrong on that?
I'll look.
Yeah, probably around that.
It's around my age.
Tony Amos.
Tony Amos' age.
How old is Tony Amos, the brother of Braxton?
Good question.
72.
Send that screenshot to. Listen, I forgot how long Tony Ramos was in.
He's a Brazilian actor. I want to make sure to get that.
Get that.
Oh my goodness, guys.
So I don't know.
All right, we'll never know.
We'll never know for sure, but so I think I heard Tony Ramos.
You guys are being ageist saying he's too young.
I've heard Poeta, and then Poeta bringing in someone like Jake Herbert.
He's 30.
Jake Herbert. I don't think Jake Herbert's going back to college coaching.
Yeah.
Here we
go.
Oh my gosh.
Here's Tony Ramos.
Wow.
There you have it. He's got a birthday coming up in August. He'll be 73 then.
The wrestler Tony Ramos is 30.
Well,
this guy,
I'm pretty sure that's the wrestler Tony Ramos. Kyle.
Wait, did this guy or did the other Tony Ramos apply for the job?
The Brazilian actor.
The Brazilian actor applied.
Okay.
He got a second interview, but I think they're going to go in a different direction.
So,
as the jiu-jitsu guys say, right, Ben?
No.
yeah. Who else? You think obviously the obvious that everyone has to call, but we'll probably say no is Casey Cunningham. I'm sure they probably called him, and he probably said no. Who else do you guys think they called?
Is Brian
What's the main
Snyder
calls?
even getting calls anymore, or is everyone just like, he's going to be the next head coach in Nebraska and he's not leaving?
Brian
I
Snyder
feel-
called me to talk about crypto last night, but I didn't answer. I was busy coaching.
Oh.
So I will ask him maybe he's
Call him
interested.
back, dude.
Call him back. He was
Yeah,
maybe
that
like,
sounds
hey,
kinda
will you
selfish.
come- should I be the head coach at Illinois? And he was like waiting there for your advice, and then he may let the opportunity slip.
I really wanted him to come to Wisconsin when the job opened up, and I will tell you, he was not really interested in even in interviewing at that point in time. He's outstanding.
He's awesome. And if he didn't want the Wisconsin job, I feel like maybe this is
Yeah,
wrong.
'cause it's
Wisconsin's
way more
a-
hippie. Yeah, he's uber liberal, so he would have loved Madison.
Yeah. Yeah. So he'd have loved it.
Yeah.
So if he didn't want that job, I don't think he's interested in
Yeah,
Illinois.
I don't think so.
Oh, speaking of Wisconsin ties, someone like John Reeder, I could see him throwing his hat in the ring. It just depends if they're looking for head coaching experience or what. But it seemed like there's a lot of there'd be a lot of good potential options.
Is there anyone that was from the state of Illinois at a high school level, and then is gone and had success, and they could bring back? Because it feels like to me that would help. I mean, the state of Illinois is so good now. They're finally producing at the collegiate level. How many? I mean, they had a ton of All-Americans this year. I can't say it off.
They
the top of my head.
did
A lot.
Typically, it's been tougher for them.
They had a rough stretch there.
They had a rough stretch of having high ranked guys coming out of high school and then not really materializing on the other way. But yeah, they had a great one last.
Yeah. So if you could start keeping people at home, that would be outstanding.
Yeah, I just wonder. Did the Chicago area? So the bottom line is the majority of the elite Illinois wrestlers are from the Chicago area. Did the Chicago
Yes.
area kids have a real fidelity or like loyalty towards Illinois and Champaign, which is like just a different part of the state? I don't
feel
know.
like they could. Yeah, I mean, you build it. It's like, I mean, you can say the same thing with Penn State and Pennsylvania kids. There was not a fidelity to Penn State before Kill got there, and I guess to an extent now, there's still Pennsylvania kids going other places, most notably Iowa. But I'm guessing if you're really good in Pennsylvania and Kill wants you, there's a really good chance he's going to get you.
Typically, yes, that has been the case. And what had been sort of interesting to look at the two lineups, and Iowa was more Pennsylvania heavy, and Pennsylvania. What wasn't it? Was it last year they had like one Pennsylvanian in the lineup? I think.
Sometime recently, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I can't recall which year that was, but yes, to your point, true.
Yeah.
So I don't know who else.
Yeah, we have not came up with a lot of good candidates. We're kind of
Donnie
failing.
Pritzloff. I mean, would he want
There
it?
you go.
He's. I feel like so he was in the mix for the Wisconsin job, and I think Wisconsin or
Not really.
Rucker. Not really.
I don't think so. I think there was some bad blood from when he left earlier.
Yeah. What happened there? Some Barry Pritzloff sort of feud type of thing.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we won't
But
get
it
into
does
that.
seem weird because it seems like it seems like he is a head coach quality level person and should be, and it almost a little bit feels like he kind of occupies that role at Rutgers. Like he feels like a head coach.
Mhm.
I know he's not. And so you would expect him to go somewhere at some point, but maybe it's the same thing like a Brian Snyder where, he's close to home. He loves it. He's really happy with where he's at, and he doesn't really want to go anywhere. And if the job opens up eventually, he'll take the job.
Also, I think a big part of that is why you see these some of these really, really good and qualified assistant coaches stay is because the head coaches are smart and delegate a large amount of responsibility. They feel great ownership around the program. They feel like they're super involved. They're getting, Brian Snyder's in the corner with Jordan Burroughs. I would imagine he's running a large part of, like, I'm sure Donnie's probably running the room. They just have great involvement. I think that's what Kale's done at Penn State. Is like there's a ton of ownership and involvement for Casey and Cody that they don't want to leave because they feel super valued. And so I think that's probably what is going on with Donnie. If I had to guess, he seems, every time we're there, he seems super involved in the operation. So
this is not a head coaching candidate, but I'm very curious what, like, if whoever does get hired, how much are these guys trying to target a guy like Gabe Dean, who one has shown the ability to recruit and be a really good young up and coming assistant, but also has a brother who's a built-in NCAA finalist who's probably going to transfer with him.
Yeah, that's a good point. that's a pretty sick package deal there. Yeah, let me ask you guys, where are they going?
I think they said Michigan, but
yeah.
I've not. Hey, let me ask you this question. I remember making a list maybe 5-ish years ago. I think it was on podcasting with Tommy of the top assistants who are not head coaches or top head coaching candidates. Mm-hmm. And it felt like, oh my gosh, there are so many good names on this list. Like, when are some of these jobs going to open up? And now we're kind of struggling to come up with a handful of really, really highly qualified good names. And I kind of almost wonder, is part of that because there's the guys in America are competing so much longer that they're not becoming assistant coaches and staying assistant coaches for a while, whereas say 10 to 15 years ago the athletic population post collegiate generally weren't sticking around for more than a couple of years and they were moving right into coaching. Do you guys think that's having an effect?
I think that's part of it. I mean, guys like David Taylor and Kyle Dake, under normal circumstances, 10 years ago, would have probably begun their coaching career. But because of a combination of their success and the longevity of their career, they don't need to start coaching yet. So there's some big stars like that. I mean, Jordan Burroughs is a guy. He coached 1 year, actually. But, he's a lot of the best guys aren't entering the ranks. The list probably then was like Donnie, Bourmet, which they were both at the same place. Brian Snyder, Mark Perry, and then Perry.
Damian Hahn was an assistant.
Damian, yep, he was definitely one that his name was thrown about.
Casey Cunningham, obviously.
Casey. So it's like with Casey and Cody and Brian, I feel like their names just don't get brought up because it's like they're just not going to go unless I think a major job would have to open up.
We gave up on them.
Yeah, we just gave up. There just could be assistants until they get the job, right? Which, that's awesome. And I think it's cool. As part of, I think that's what's helped Nebraska a lot. That continuity is huge, and obviously for Penn State, it's a huge factor as well. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Bratke made a Super League. Can you explain this? I've only learned a little bit about this.
I'll do my best because I'm not the most well-versed.
You are our soccer expert.
So essentially, English Premier League, a bunch of teams in the English Premier League. I don't know where he's going. A bunch of teams in the English Premier League and other top soccer leagues in Europe decided they were going to break away and make their own Super League. And it was going to be 15 teams. They had 12 at the time they announced it. It has since just completely folded, and it's not going to be a thing. But it was essentially like the 12 to 15 most popular teams, and they were going to be in this league, and they were just going to play each other for a bunch of TV money, like much more guaranteed money than they were getting in the leagues they were in.
So let me ask this question.
Yeah.
Is it because do they only play in certain countries sometimes? Is that how it works normally?
Well, so they would all see each other in the Champions League. So, but you can only get to the Champions League if you finish like so high in your league in your country, and then you go to the Champions League. And so the whole point was, it's really hard to get to the Champions League, which is where you get more money at. It's also you have the risk of being relegated if you stink. Now, most of these teams aren't ever really close to that, but with this new Super League, they can be in that league. They can make a crap ton more money. Guaranteed money that they wouldn't be guaranteed every season in the Premier League or whatever league they were in. They would have to qualify to go to the Champions League, and they wouldn't have to worry about relegation. They would be in. They would be in this thing, and they would be getting all the TV money and all this stuff. Well, everyone lost their minds, and the majority of teams have already backed out of this after they announced it on Sunday. But it got me thinking, and before they did away with it, what would a Super League for NCAA wrestling look like? Who would be in and who would be out? So, like, you're trying to base this off of not necessarily just the best teams, but the most popular as well, because you're trying to sell this. I don't know. I guess if you're looking at it as almost like you're putting this out for people to bid on for rights, whether it's on TV, streaming services, whatever. So you're not just looking at the top 15 programs. You're looking at who brings the most value.
Okay.
Maybe I should.
Your fire alarm?
Is your house on fire?
F up, I can go out the window.
Ben is a dedicated podcaster.
This show is wild. You're wiping your computer.
Listen,
we got.
I spilt coffee everywhere. I can't believe you guys didn't notice.
I did.
It was on my computer.
Well, I didn't know it was on your computer. I saw it on your phone.
On my phone, on my computer. I just I hung tight. I was waiting for Ben to go on a little bit of a monologue, and then Tyler could have just cut to Ben's face, and I could get up, and no one would have known. But
there we go.
It wasn't happening.
Okay, hey, so I have an idea, Bratke. I'm going to take this somewhere else.
Okay.
Super League idea.
Okay.
Okay. What if we got to do? You guys might even just steal it. This might be a business. You guys can steal it if you want from me. Not an NCAA Super League, but a World Super League. So you have the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club versus Dagestan versus, I don't know, what's Tehran Wrestling Club versus Baku, right? Something like that where it's international. So maybe you have like 4 American teams, and then you have, a couple Russian teams, and then you have a couple teams from Iran or Azerbaijan, something like that. What do you think?
That sound. That's not where I would start if I wanted to do the biggest
Really?
thing. Yeah. Personally.
What? Because you could, but college wrestling, they already wrestle each other.
Well, but we just dissolved NCAA wrestling. We're just making a super league.
Oh,
it's totally
geez.
fake.
Seriously.
No, yeah. I mean, but that just sounds like us versus other countries, really.
Yeah.
Or I guess you could do like, Osage.
No, it's not us. It's the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club versus, and then maybe you have who's the second? Maybe it's a Gopher, or who else could field the full team? Spartan Combat, and then you also have Ossetia, and you got Dagestan, and you got Baku, something like that.
Okay, I'm in.
There you go, because you can't dissolve the NCAA. They will not allow that.
Serbia.
But this isn't real, Ben.
We're gonna make it. Hello,
I mean, this is something college football's talked about for a long time, is pulling away from the NCAA and just making a super league.
For real?
Oh, that
Are you
works.
being serious?
It was just
I'm being serious. They could do it because the NCAA already doesn't run the college football playoff. They couldn't. There's certain sports that could pull away from the NCAA and be just fine. Basketball is not one of them because the NCAA runs March Madness, and that's where a bunch of schools make money. But in football, they could do it because the TV contracts are worth so much money in football. And like the story I read on this in football, this guy made the 15-team Super League, didn't reach out to an executive in TV and was like, how much would this be worth in TV money if these teams only played each other? And he said 1.5 billion
Per team?
No.
Wow.
Just for the rights for the whole thing.
that's what they
And then
did.
they would distribute that between the 15 schools.
That'd be nice.
Right now, the TV contracts for college football are usually in the hundreds of millions. I think ESPN's going to pay like $500 million for the new SEC rights. But I don't know. I thought this would be interesting. Tyler, I think, has my list up that I came up with, and you guys can feel free to roast away. I tried to have a team. I did because I was just looking. I was looking at
ABC teams.
I was looking at the list of teams in ABC order.
Got it.
So I just put them on there as I saw fit. So again, you're looking for brand recognition. Are you good? Is your program popular? Is there a fan base? I don't know. What do you guys think?
How made you pick there? Is that 15 or 16?
It's 15 actually in the Super League, and then I put 6 or 7 on the outside looking in. I can see arguments for teams that I have on the bubble for teams in there. If you have anyone in particular, so I'll just run for the people not watching. I'll run through who I have in real quick. Arizona State, Cornell, Iowa State, Lehigh, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, NC State, Ohio State, Oklahoma State, Penn State, Rutgers, Virginia Tech.
Hokies. I think
I like it. There's no one.
I don't think I'd make any changes.
Where's
You and I
Hofstra?
is the closest, and they're.
So the two
Why are
that,
you laughing like that? Storied Long Island program.
listen,
Where's
Ollie, I
LIU?
didn't even put Ohio or West Virginia in this. I was super duper serious with this.
Well, yeah, obviously, but where's Hofstra?
Oh, that's
No, I
obvious,
get
too.
it. I get it.
Yeah, Ben, I agree. I think you and I and Oklahoma are
Yeah.
probably the two that.
Yeah.
Who would you take out then?
It's funny because those are kind of like opposite programs because like Oklahoma has this like insane tradition, but the fan base is not really there right now, and the success isn't really
And the
there.
recent success hasn't been great.
Whereas
Well,
you
Northern
and
Iowa's
I-
got crazy tradition, Christian. They won the what was their previous name? They won an
Iowa
NCAA title.
Teachers College.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, that's that tradition. But like before Schwab, the Penrith era, they were definitely a down program with not a huge fan base. Schwab brought the fan base back, and the successes come with it. I think you and I. Who would you take? Who's the bubble team? I think the bubble teams are like Lehigh,
Lehigh's a bubble, 100%.
Rutgers.
Oh, they're bubble. Yeah.
Man, I
Yes,
don't know.
I agree.
Rutgers packs that place.
packs the rack.
And that's why.
But they're
and
not
that's-
always great dual team though.
That's true.
Well, you need somebody to beat up on.
But if you kind of look at what they bring, so they bring the New Jersey market. Like that's one thing
Yeah.
that like
we got to get that Jersey market.
you
boys.
have to get the Jersey market, especially in wrestling. And they're doing a much better job of keeping Jersey kids home. I think I see the trajectory of the program still continuing to go up.
They're recruiting well.
Yes, they're recruiting very well. So I just thought what they bring to the
And
table is really big.
They generally have some really good star power between like Soriano and Ashnault, Seabass,
Turley.
From
The pause,
wow.
the pause is on
The
the
pause
rise.
is
The
coming.
pause.
People really
The pause
like
could be
Sammy
coming.
Alvarez. He's fun to watch.
there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
The bull.
He's
The
very
new bull.
relatable. He
So-
got overweight. We can understand.
But why
I
do
can
we
relate.
why do we have 15? Why don't we have 16? 16's like
You could
do,
have
like,
more. I
groups
just
of
did the same
4.
format that the Super League did. So you could do more.
15 seems awkward. Then someone's always got to buy.
I really thought you guys would push back more here.
well, okay.
Why?
some of
On
these.
who?
I don't know.
I think
I could see Virginia Tech.
Listen,
people
I'm-
arguing against Virginia Tech and NC State.
I'm bouncing Lehigh. I'm putting in you and I.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
I think I went with Lehigh just because
Faye's gonna be angry.
of the tradition. They've still continued to have that success in recent history, and then they do have a pretty big fan base, and it's where it's at in the country.
Yes, it is. And all right, Ben is.
Everyone is just leaving.
What a
I'm
show.
sorry
Ollie,
this
get out.
topic.
What
I'm
a
sorry this
show.
topic was so damn boring. Christian had to leave. Ben had to leave.
leave.
No, I love this topic.
Listen, here he
Ben,
comes.
what's up with the disrespect?
Yo,
I got a coffee
Oh no,
delivery.
I lost my thing.
he got a coffee delivery. Oh my
My
gosh.
wife-
Is there? A,
She wouldn't stop knocking.
She wouldn't stop knocking. All right. Well, okay.
Yeah.
So I think Lehigh, Rutgers are the ones you could take
Yeah,
off.
no, for sure. Those two are the bottom, and then probably the ACC schools, just because that
How dare
no,
you.
you need
success-
Rutgers.
the success is very recent. It's not this long-standing tradition at those schools.
You can't take Jersey.
It's
out.
very recent, but I don't see them falling off anytime soon, and they've both cultivated really good fan bases.
Yeah.
I think Pitt's worth a mention just because there are a lot. I mean, there's a big fan base there. They seem to be coming along. I don't know if they're quite in yet, but they're close. I think they're really close.
They're getting there.
Agreed.
Would we have a relegation system here?
Yeah,
Well, that was the thing
I
with
think
the
you got to
teams
go.
Yes.
Well, that was the thing with the
2 and
Super
2
League
hours,
is there
then.
was no relegation.
Which I think is dangerous because if
Yes.
these fat cats that own teams can
They
just
just
sit
get
back,
lazy.
Fat cat.
they can just sit back and get the check from the TV deal, and they don't have to field a good team. Why are they gonna pay $300 million for the next Ronaldo or whatever?
Yeah,
Which you see that.
100%. Yeah.
See that with the Colorado Rockies.
I mean, yeah,
Oh my
there's
gosh, don't get
all
me
kinds of
started.
professional teams. They don't care about winning; they just care about making money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought this was an interesting concept. Spay pushed back on Missouri and Nebraska for some reason in the office. I thought those two were
What?
pretty clearly in.
Man.
Yes,
they're-
clearly, not even close.
Listen, everyone gets on me for being a Missouri hater, which I am not, but they it would not be the right list if they weren't on there in Nebraska.
Yes.
Same deal. Okay, fine. Well, let's make a Super League. And then,
Who would get
Super
relegated
League.
here?
I want my Dagestan Super League. Dagestan.
yeah, who's the worst?
Ossetia.
Who's gonna be the worst team of this bunch next?
What are we
year?
going to do? 2 or 3 teams
Rutgers.
get relegated.
Rutgers
and
will,
Lehigh.
Rutgers will be good next year. With Seabass back, Alvarez back.
Alvarez again hinted at
Was he going 25?
Seabass going down. No,
Oh, he's going
stop being mean, you jerk.
No body shaming.
I'm not body shaming.
Must have been nice to have a six-pack all your life, all right? It was tough for some of us.
Okay, that was the past. This
This is now Caleb Piles. All right. Yeah, I think Rutgers is going to be good next year. Okay. David Bray is here. If you didn't notice, he's right here.
Haven't left either.
It's Cadet Week.
Thank you for not leaving, David.
Yeah. Neither Ben nor I left. We had to get up.
No, you left.
we had-
You walked away from the table. You walked away from
walked
negotiations.
I'm sorry. I was concerned about the company property that was currently covered in coffee.
Yeah.
Okay. So cadets are coming. Ben is very excited. This is one of his most
Love
targeted
this tournament.
probably tournaments for his guys.
I think it's either this one or for high school level. So I don't count juniors as high school level because there's a lot of college people in that field. For strictly high school level, I think it's this tournament or Super 32 that are the toughest.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think there's any argument there.
And I mean the stakes
Okay.
with this one are much higher because you get on the team, now you're getting invested in by USA Wrestling, you're at camps with senior level guys, the junior level guys, and there's just so much development that comes, and so it's the tournament. I'm super excited about it too.
Yeah, and then I mean the other thing that's really cool about this tournament that's kind of different than Super 32 or even Fargo is the weight classes they use often bunch people from multiple weight classes into one, right? So we get to see some of those matchups that we maybe wouldn't see other places.
Yeah.
Yeah, going from 14 to 10 weights, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and really there's not very many up top. You're going, I have to do the math on the exact kilograms, but when you go from
51.
61 to 65 to 71, I mean, that's you're encompassing. And then really the other crazy one, and this is not great for my guys, but that 71 to 80 jump. That's like, so it's like, I think it's 156 to 176 or something in there. Like that's a really large jump. And in high school, you have 52, 60, 70, and then 82. And essentially you have 2 weight classes where there were 4.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really excited about some of those weights for this weekend and I put some weights in the doc of like weights that I'm excited about, 4 weights, but 71 kilos, for example, is really exciting because you've got a couple guys who have been ranked at 160, like Ncaa Taylor and Josh Barr, who are really good. But now Levi Haynes, he wrestled 138 at Super 32, 145 all high school season, and then just recently bumped up to 52. He's going to be wrestling that 71 kilo bracket because his other option is go down to 65, which is a little bit lower than 145 where he was during the year. So that's a guy I'm super interested to see. Levi Haynes, that is. He's an M2 kid, Biglersville, Pennsylvania. Really excited to see him against guys like Ncaa Taylor from Nebraska, who kind of just kills everybody in Nebraska, and Josh Barr from Michigan. Different styles, but guys from different weight classes that you wouldn't normally think about hitting each other.
Yeah. So, and I guess the other thing, just looking at this chart real quick, and I don't think they're putting this up anywhere, but obviously there's a lot more guys ranked lower. But I think that makes the most sense because as you get bigger, there's more juniors and seniors that are ranked, and a lot of the freshmen, sophomores, and upper weights are not ranked, where that's not the case in the lower weights.
Yeah. Some of these lower weights are absolutely loaded, and 51 kilos is 51 and 55 both have a really good number of ranked kids, but it's pretty wild when you look at who's in here. Guys from 106, Caden Williams is number 3, Alan Kohler's number 9, and then guys from 113, Mark Anthony McGowan's number 1, Nate Jezeroga number 3, Drew Heath is 17, Nick Treaster 19. Those guys are all in at 51, and I think this weight class is the one where probably Mark Anthony McGowan, Nate Jezeroga is a final that a lot of people expect, and I want to see that match. We could have seen it this last weekend at the Ultimate Club Duels. Both guys were entered, but their teams didn't end up hitting. I love the matchup. Jezroga, such a hard hand fighter and just super tough Seabolt guy. Mark Anthony McGowan, as slick as they come and super fast. Have you thought much about what that match could look like, Ben?
No, I have not.
Man, I think.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, guys, and this is why it's great to have you on here. I feel like we missed so much because we didn't have UWW 15U, 17U juniors last year. We didn't have Fargo last year. So normally where I would have seen all these guys and became, hey, they're especially in the Northern Plains, like the Midwest guys, where I'd be like, oh, I know that guy. I watched him wrestle. We missed all of that. So really, like the only thing we went to was Super 32 and now postseason nationals, and that's really it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean McGowan people know because he's made cadet. He cadet world champ, right? So
Yep.
he's been around. It's kind of hard to believe he's still cadet eligible. He must have been
Young.
super young.
He
when
was
he made it.
15, yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty crazy that his star rose so early and he's still cadet eligible.
Still small too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and when you see sometimes the guys that are small, they'll try to bump up, they'll wrestle up a little bit and kind of test the waters, and he's done that some. He wrestled Mason Gibson at an event that Mike shot in Jersey, and
That was a close match, right?
really good
Yeah.
match. Gibson ended up winning it, but it did seem like size was at least a little bit of a factor there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a weight class that I think is a really good fit for Mark Anthony.
Who are the biggest standouts, best? Who do you think are the guys we're going to be talking about the most after this weekend?
I think Mark Anthony McGowan is one that people are going to remember why he's as good as he is. But that's why I really am curious about that Jezroga match. I think Jezroga he's right there. He is, he's a guy that really wouldn't surprise me if he pushes Mark Anthony and figures him out. But I still think it's going to be McGowan. I think we're going to be talking about him. You guys yesterday talked about some of the up and coming middle school guys that are going to be entered in this tournament. I think Bo Bassett, you guys are dead on. We're going to be talking about him. The thing is, that question, you guys were asking this question yesterday of, would you rather enter your guy in U15 if they're still age qualified for that division or cadets? I think
Because it does say on the website you cannot double enter.
yes,
Just
correct.
FYI.
Yeah. So I think in most cases, I agree with what you guys were saying yesterday, that it makes sense to enter them in U15. But in the case of Bo Bassett and a couple other guys like, Nate Desmond, Sam Herring, those guys are at small enough weight classes that I think they have realistic chances of getting on this team, given how good they are at such a low weight. I think there are not going to be a ton of older guys that are going to push them. But I think in general, I agree. Like if you can go 15.
That's one of those where I don't know with these age groups, but I can tell you exclusively with cadets juniors at Fargo, like junior 100 and junior 106 are so much easier than cadet 100 and cadet 106. So I always am annoyed when a kid bumps up an age group because it's like, oh, you wanted the easy way to All-American. Because, junior 100 usually has like 10 guys in it or something, whereas cadet 100 is like 80 guys.
One of the
it's
toughest
super
weights
deep.
in the whole bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that that's the case with this at all because I'm not as comfortable with these age groups.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but you don't think so. So then, but is the other one, I'm going to have to go read this, but I feel like maybe the 15Us aren't going to the World Championships also, now that you said something about that, which would obviously make a big difference.
So the 15U is for Pan Ams.
Pan Ams. Okay, yep.
And there's not going to be a World Championship, or at least UWW is not having one, a 15U, and I'm not sure if USA sent in a team or how that's working.
Yeah.
Is there no Greco World? Oh, no. The freestyle and cadet, well, yeah, World Championships, Hungary, July 19 through 25.
Oh yeah, you going?
If we get some guys on the team, that's Fargo, isn't it?
That sounds Fargo-y.
Sounds
Yes,
like
it
it.
is.
Sounds super Fargo-y.
Cadet Worlds is really, it's like overlaps with part of Fargo too.
Almost every. Well, sorry, that was
I thought
Cadet
so.
Worlds.
I think
Oh,
that's what
sorry, I
he's
thought you were
talking
saying
about.
15U. Okay.
Yeah.
No, there is no 15U Worlds. It goes
Got it,
go to
got
the
it, got
Pan
it.
Ams, and that's not till October.
Okay.
October.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pan Am's
Hey,
aren't
so Gabe-
until October.
Yeah, Gabe Arnold is not on the list. I'm assuming that's a misprint or something. We
He
forgot.
yeah, he's registered.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's registered. Oh, he probably didn't
Okay.
pop on the ranked list because he's entered in the rankings as Gabe and he's registered as Gabriel.
What the heck?
Oh, you
Come
guys
on,
got
Bray.
a bot or
Come
something that
on.
searches them?
Yeah, its name is Spay. But no, yeah, Spay does great spreadsheet stuff and pulled that list, and so I just missed it in the double check. Yeah, I mean that weight is going to be awesome too. 80 kilos. Gabe Arnold, James Rowley, Hayden Walters, Tate
I got a bunch
Nocturne.
of hammers in there too.
Who? Yeah, which
FYI.
guys you got? Let me
Put
look
pressure
through.
on all of your kids
so-
now.
Well, all of them. 80. Well, at 80, there's 4 that are really good. So Mirasola, they're the twins. One of them won state at 170 as a freshman. Mulvaney took 3rd in state, and he's placed a bunch of national level stuff. And then Lowell Arnold actually made the finals of the tournament, the big tournament they did in Iowa a couple weeks back. I can't remember what they call it. It wasn't. I was really annoyed because there was a Folkstyle
Recruiting
National.
showcase.
That one, he made the finals of that. Yes,
I'm not trying to
So-
start drama, but why is he listed as Portage Youth Wrestling Club?
because that's where he goes to school. We're not really big on pushing like you have to sign up for AWA. We're not really big on that. A lot of them do, but it's kind of whatever.
Yeah, that's the right approach.
Yeah. So, yeah, that'll be a fun weight class for us. And then 71 is another one that weight class is gonna be a lot of fun.
So you have not had a cadet world teamer, is that right? Is that what you said yesterday?
Never. It's the only thing we haven't had someone win. Josh Otto was the closest. He lost to. He actually beat Facundo in one of the 3 matches in the final 2 or 3, and he's the only guy we've had make the finals, I think.
Dang.
Unless I'm forgetting somebody. Yeah.
Okay.
You asked about other guys that we're going to be talking about by the end of this weekend. I think Mason Gibson. Everybody's already talked about this guy. People have been talking about
we're
him,
already
but
talking about him.
you see the way that he his skills translate to freestyle, and it's really interesting. He actually had a couple close-ish matches this last weekend at Ultimate Club Duels, but he even told me at PIAAs, he was like, man, I'm really looking forward to freestyle season because I love slamming people. He's like, I love being able to bomb people, and when you're picking guys up and hitting 2 cartwheels in a row while you're still
Oh my
holding
gosh!
onto your
Saw
opponent.
that? That
Yeah.
was freaking wild.
Like that's wild, and so he's in a super loaded weight class too. Spencer Moore from Kentucky is really good there. Corey Land from Alabama, he's so funny, man. He'll wrestle 26, or even I'm trying to remember if I saw him at 32 one time this year, but he'll wrestle 26 during the season.
He was ranked at 32 at the beginning of the year because he wrestled at some tournament up there.
Yeah.
And then at Super 32, he was registered like 113.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Shapeshifter. Corey Land.
I mean, I think
He just has no competition in Alabama.
Yes.
So he just gets fat and happy, during the
Why not?
during the regular season. Yeah, absolutely.
But he competes well too. I mean, he was 3rd at Super 32 at 113, but then recently up at 126, he beat Steve O'Poulin. Yeah, he's
You know
he's
who
good.
he had a crazy match with? Oh, I need to look this up to make sure I'm not full of crap. I want to say he got killed by Ncaa, though.
Yeah. He
I
lost
believe I was watching him at
Folkstyle Nationals.
But then he came back and placed way higher than him.
Yeah, Ncaa didn't place.
Correct.
But so
Yeah, he lost 11. He lost 11-2 in the 3rd round. Then he came back and he won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches in a row to take 3rd. And Ncaa DNP'd.
Yeah, and Ncaa got beat by, I think got beat in that tournament by Carlos Negretti, who Corey Land ended up beating in that tournament too.
Yeah.
Yes, he's good. I like him at this weight, and then Cale Hughes from Oklahoma too. He's really tough.
Yeah. Another guy I really like in here is Webster from Illinois. He's pretty scrappy. We're at 55 kilograms. I watched him a lot. He's really tough. I mean, 55 kilograms. I recognize a whole bunch of his names. And the other guy that's from Illinois in here too is Joey Furnau. He's pretty scrappy too.
Oh yeah.
guy to keep your
weight class.
eye on that I don't know anything about, but I think you should. His name's Smokey McClure.
Yeah, he's
out of Washington. I don't know anything about him, but he sounds like trouble.
Yeah, there are some names, man. You come across some names when you're reading a lot of high school results.
Joe Blaze.
Joey Blaze. He was. I can't remember if he's still in the rankings, but he was just in the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
Joey
We
Blaze.
got another Voinovich in the mix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kale.
Lots of Kales with alternate spellings, though. We've got Kale like the vegetable. We've got Kael for the Voinovich.
I mean, he's still competing for USA teams, where his brother is made the transfer over to Serbia.
That's yeah.
Wait, is this for real?
Yeah,
It's for real.
yeah. He's
Wait.
from what I understand, he's wrestling in
Victor?
Victor Voinovich. He's gonna wrestle at Junior Euros or Junior Worlds for. No, I think Junior Euros first, and then maybe Junior Worlds for Serbia.
Okay,
Yeah, quite
crazy.
the,
Victor
profile
Voinovich,
picture here.
Stevan Micic, and Sabalov. That's the 3 peas in a pod right there.
Quite a squad. Oh, check
Hey.
out Smokey McClure's track
That's
wrestling profile.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
This kid's a star.
Oh, Tyler. Oh, my gosh. Oh, there we go.
Hey,
He's got the shovel.
Let me ask: Is Michael Church? Is that Mac Church? Because there used to be a Mac Church from PA, roughly this weight class, and now there's a Michael Church. I'm assuming that may be the same person.
I don't think it's the same person.
Really?
If it was, I think he would. One, I think he'd be at 55, and two, I think he would register as Mac
Okay.
Church. He registers
His-
as Mac Church for everything.
His track wrestling profile says Michael
Ah,
Mack Church.
Maybe it is then. Maybe it is him.
Waynesburg, Pennsylvania.
So I
Yeah,
think it is.
Team
Dang,
PA
bro, you got
Wrestling.
caught.
Team PA Wrestling Inc. I would have thought he would have registered Waynesburg or something like that. But yeah, maybe it is Mac Church.
Incorporated.
Okay.
Maybe yeah, it's a business move.
Yes. Business moves on.
You incorporate yourself. You got to ditch the Mac and start going by Michael. I guess maybe.
Yeah.
If that is Mac Church, then that makes 60 more interesting. 60 is a good weight too. It doesn't have. There are a couple guys that are in there that like just came out of the rankings that have been ranked previously. Joey Blaze, one of those. Tyler Kasich just came up too, and so he moved up for Ultimate Club duels and took a couple losses, and he's right on the verge too. So 60 is I mean, that's no joke of a weight class. Emilio Isagure is in there. He's the guy. Do you guys remember at Super 32? He beat.
Oh, yeah. He's the Cejudo guy.
He's a Cejudo guy, and who did he beat? Oh, just got a text. Yeah, that is Mac Church. So, Isagure beat somebody super good at Super 32, and it was like a big surprise.
Wait, it wasn't. He almost is he the one that almost beat Drake? Or no, he beat New York kid
He beat Jordan Titus.
Jordan Titus. Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. He
Yep.
did not almost beat Drake.
No, but anyway, yeah.
This other kid that you might be talking about, there's this Coy Hopke kid. He does not wrestle for me. He's from way up north Wisconsin. This dude wins like everything. And I think he won state as a freshman. He might be another name to watch out for. But he literally just wins almost everything.
110 kilos. Okay.
He's literally
have
31-0 on his track profile, so I'm not lying. He literally won everything.
Hey, have you?
Literally can't beat him.
Can't beat him. Could you beat Coy Hopke right now? Could you beat Coy Hopke right now, Ben?
Of course, he's a high school kid.
Hey,
Could you beat every high schooler in America?
I gotta imagine, yeah.
hey, 110 kilos. If
I mean,
hey, if you guys like heavyweight wrestling, we got
know,
Coy
I do.
Hopke, but Jim Mullen. Have you watched this kid, Jim Mullen?
That's just a
Tell
good
me about
heavyweight name.
It's a great heavyweight, man. He sounds
Jen
like
Mullen.
he's a man already. You know
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Jim
got
Mullen.
kids.
Jim Mullen.
Jim Mullen's got a set of 3, and one of them's in the little league team, the same as mine. You know?
Yeah.
Jim Mullen has an argument to be number one. He's a top 5 kid in the country, but he New Jersey State champ as a freshman, and then he's a sophomore now. He at heavyweight, New Jersey State champ at heavyweight as a freshman. He pinned.
What a beast.
He's total beast. He pinned at a Nittany Lion Wrestling Club event. He pinned current number 1 Chase Horn in that Sadulayev hook the arm the way he pinned Kyle Snyder. He pinned Chase Horn in that move.
He hit a junior high move.
Except He's legit. This
He's
kid,
definitely varsity.
you talk about guys that people are gonna be talking about and paying attention to for a long time, and maybe starting this weekend. If people don't already know Jim Mullen, they'll know. I think they're gonna.
I can't believe
more.
someone named Jim Mullen is cadet eligible. I don't know anything about this guy. It just
my
sounds like
gosh.
someone who's ahead of his time. So looking forward to watching Jim.
It really sounds like a long haul trucker.
Yeah.
Dude, he's legit, man.
I'm not. I think he's awesome, and he's one of those people like you say their whole name.
Yeah,
Like, you're
Mullen.
not just saying Mullen.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
Jim.
no, Jim.
No, that's Jim Mullen.
Yeah.
It sounds like he should go to Oklahoma State just with that name, just being.
I like
just
that.
call
yeah.
him Jim Mullen all the time. I don't know anything about. I just learned he existed, and I'm planning his
You know
life.
his friends call him Big Jim.
Big Jim,
Big Jim. You should call him Big Jim.
especially as he gets
Wow.
older, and he'll have a kid, and he'll be Jim Jr. And then
Little Jimmy.
they'll ask for Big Jim.
Yeah. Can I talk to Big Jim?
Jimmy. I need Big Jim.
The Big Jim there?
Yeah.
92. There's a couple guys too that are really good. PJ Cassell and Gavin Nelson are in that bracket, but a guy that has really had a good couple of weekends in a row, a Seabolt guy, Ben Keeter, is somebody that I want to see against Cassell and Nelson. He is the one. I don't know if you guys. I heard you guys talking yesterday about the Ultimate Club Duels, the semifinal between Seabolt and M2. He pinned Christian Carroll in a match that like they absolutely needed. He's had a great few weeks. He won Folk Style Nationals, and then his only problem right now is he can't beat guys with the last name Rogers because he lost this weekend to Hayden Rogers and Rylan Rogers. So, but
Dang
there's
it.
no Rogers in the bracket. So
He's in good shape.
Yeah, he's in good shape. But Seabolt kid, sophomore, he's looked really, really solid. So I'm excited to see what he does with those two guys at 92. But that's another name that I think people will know a little bit more after this weekend.
Nice. All right, Bratke is on the Jim Mullen.
He was St. Joseph Regional.
I
I got reports that we're gonna lose him to football.
Oh no!
Ah.
Come on, Big Jim.
Goodness.
Let's get him on a cadet team. He'll have the time of his life.
You know,
and then-
we almost lost Mason Paris, but you know what? He saw the light. Now we gotta get
Got
Big
him.
Jim.
If we lose anybody, it's got to be to the professional wrestling.
Big Jim.
Big
I'm
Jim.
good with that.
Okay.
We're losing Gable. Gable gone.
He's still here. We still have him till
Whoa,
Olympics.
Ben, triple threat at WrestleMania. Ferrari, Gable, Big Jim.
Man. Do they do triple tag team? What?
Triple threat, Christian.
Big Jim. He'd be
Triple
Did you know that?
Tag team.
No, I didn't know that.
Okay,
I'm not-
so
Big Jim would be. It's like
was
Big
just
Jim
laughing
Mullen
'cause
would
he
be the
clowned
kind
him.
of guy because it's been a while. I think since we've seen a WWE guy that fights in jeans, but somebody like a Jim
Oh,
Mullen.
yes. A Big Jim
God.
Mullen's got jeans and work boots on.
Leave Jim Mullen alone. You guys don't know this dude.
He's
I
the
don't
man.
harass
Yeah,
him.
hey,
That's
listen,
true.
all.
Jim
Let's
Mullen.
leave
I
this
hope
poor
to meet
kid
him.
alone.
I want to meet Big Jim.
I'm telling you, he's awesome.
No, but we're fans of
Wow.
him. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
You're fans of his name, the words that are in his name.
I'm a fan of his wrestling. Watch the kid.
Words that are in his name.
He's super good.
Oh my gosh.
Man, let us have some
Wow.
fun, you know? Okay, anything else cadet-wise to discuss before we move on?
Man, that's
I don't
good.
Excited
Yeah.
for this weekend.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Gonna be some fun times. Okay, should we go to questions from friends? I don't have any friends.
Let's hit it.
Yes.
Let's hit it. Okay, cool. With Nick Lee and RBY winning 33-41 this year, Penn State's won a title every weight in the last 6 years since Megaludis won at 25 and 16. Has any other school ever won all the weights this quickly? What was the previous record?
Wow.
I am not aware of
No way.
that. Maybe Gable era 80s, 90s it happened.
What about Oklahoma State? Because they won 5 that 1 year, so they got half of them covered in 1 year.
That's a good point.
And 04, was it 04 or 05? 05.
I feel like they had a lot of multi-champs. Like, not a lot of, like, they didn't have, like, 10 different guys. They had, like, 5, you know.
Rashalt moved weights, so he won
That's a
two
good
different weight
point.
classes.
So there's 6 weights covered.
Okay, that's 6 weights.
49, 65,
Well,
74.
Hendrick, yep. They got Mako at heavyweight. 84.97 is Rosholt. Mako's heavyweight. Johnny Thompson would have been 133 right before that.
Yes.
Um,
Now 125, 141. and
Coleman won a
157.
title, but that was 33
33.
also.
Should have bumped up Johnny.
Yeah.
So I think
No,
25,
maybe not.
41, and 57 they're missing. But
Yeah,
that's pretty
think
good.
so.
Pretty solid run. And maybe
Well, you could actually go, if we say within 6 years, though, Christian, you could go to either 2011 or all the way back to 99. So if we go back to 99, isn't Teague Moore in there somewhere?
yes, he definitely won NCAAs.
Is there someone else in there, too?
So what?
99 is a little bit before my fan era.
Yes.
Well, it's 6 years, so you can go 99 to 05, or you can go 05 to all the way to 2011.
So Guerrero, he probably won. in
yeah, Guerrero.
99 at
He
133.
won 26, which we can say
he
is
won
125.
But I don't know what year
Yeah,
that
that-
was.
I'm sure the 26 was in 97.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Teague Moore won 118 in 1998.
I don't think Kale has ever had a champion at 118. It's one of the black marks in his coaching career.
That's good. I just read this next question. This is so good. It was
Okay.
commenting on what we said yesterday. Yep, he said coaches want to show every kid how tough the sport is on day one. That's like telling a girl on the first date, "I love you so much, I want to marry you." It's so true.
That is a great.
It's
I thought that
so
was like a
true.
perfect comparison.
Great line. That is FRL is the best. Oh, you might be my favorite question asker now.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That's a good line.
Just chill out, dude. It's like you got the whole.
So Kozak says John Smith, Oklahoma State has all 10. Cole Cornell is second, has never won 10, missing 174 in heavy.
Man, he was so close to 74 with Lunas a couple times. In heavyweight, yeah, heavyweight. It's been weird. They've never had an All-American at heavy.
That's crazy.
Wait. Never?
Right.
What?
He's not very confident in that.
I'm pretty confident.
I think you're right though, but it was just funny how
That can't be right, can it?
Find a
said it.
heavyweight.
Never? Cole's been there for like 25 years, Christian. He's been there for a long time.
Let's just see.
I'm looking right now.
Just look for the 2. I don't think so. Nope. He hasn't.
What? Rob Cole hates big people. What's wrong with him?
I don't know. He
He's
had Damian
had,
on
he's
Steph.
had plenty of 197-pound AAs though, so I
Really
wouldn't say
big
that.
people. Ollie,
Yeah,
do
what's
you
the
hate
deal
Rob
with that,
Cole
man?
now?
Yeah, what do you think, Ollie?
Bull crap.
I think I need to connect him with my heavyweight dynasty that I created at Hewlett and get some All-Americans pumping through.
Yeah, I think honestly you should kind of pitch yourself. Make sure you get.
One of my heavyweight proteges is in the questions here in the doc.
Oh, who's that?
Uh-oh.
Really?
He's the one who's saying I look like Seth Rogen.
I don't see that at all.
That's not.
I will say
It's a personality.
there is a picture out there. Me fresh off a wrestling practice with my glasses on, and then my coach superimposed my co-coach, assistant, whatever. Put it next to a picture of Seth Rogen, and it did look pretty similar at the time. I had a Rogen-y vibe, but yeah, Matt, I've glowed up since then. Thanks for bringing that dark time up. But yeah, Matt's real tough, County finalist, and since he brought this up, I'll say he didn't get his fakes off enough. He had a really good blast double, but he needed more fakes.
Okay, and that's just Coach Cole. That's just a taste of the expertise that Ollie could bring to the table.
I think I'm going to say Rob Cole's getting over the hump. Unless there's the Rob Cole jinx. Knock on some wood right here. The heavyweight next year, Luis Fernandez. He's going to All-American.
Yeah,
Well, you just put a bunch of pressure on him.
that's a lot of pressure, but I like Luis Fernandez. I think there's a great chance.
He's
of that
really
happening.
good.
Big Lou.
I liked Jeremy Sweeney when he was coming out. It looked like he would be the next guy. He was coming out of high
that's
school.
gold.
Jeremy Sweeney was pretty good. But yeah,
Luis Fernandez got 4 shots. I can't say he's going to do it next year, but he's going to do it sometime.
as long as Ivy League allows sports, as long as they're not like, you know what, no more sports.
Seriously.
We just do the book learning now.
Book?
Book?
Why boo?
Why a book? Justin Street. I remember a kid from Buffalo Gap getting DQ'd in either 2012 or 2013 for continuously kicking my teammate in the head. Did that happen to me, Mongoose?
Wait, what?
Okay. So no, this
What
did-
type of kick?
One. Shout out Justin Street. He wrestled for Grundy High School. He was probably the best wrestler one of the best in all of Virginia, but definitely the best in like our division at those years.
Which division?
Well,
15A?
I'm sort of stuttering because I can't remember if that was when we were single A or moved to double A once we moved to 6. I think this would have been the double A era. Anyway, one, it was Mongoose, but two, he did not get DQ'd. I don't think he kicked anyone in the head. Listen, on occasion, he would give up some penalty points. He never was DQ'd. He honestly was way more composed than I thought he would be when he first started wrestling. He would normally get team points taken for just bringing back the crossface as far as he possibly could and just boom, like basically punching them in the face.
Wow.
He would do that.
Christian, you allowed this?
He taught it.
No, I didn't teach it, but no, I didn't teach it. I mean, look, do you teach everything that your kids do? No.
I do not.
Christian's
Not
developing the Cobra
I mean,
Kai of
but if they
wrestling
did
in
it
Virginia.
like all the time, they did it like very, very regularly, then me and that athlete would have to have a serious discussion about his behaviors.
We had a serious discussion when it happened, but I mean, he didn't give, man, you just got to be there, dude.
He wasn't scared.
I won't
of you.
name names, but I had a coach who would teach us some dirty stuff. The classic was like, as you're stepping up to turn him with the half, you might hit him with your knee.
It's an accident.
It's an accident.
It's an accident.
And his famous line was, I can't tell you to make it hurt, but make him uncomfortable. That was
Is that Bogar or is that Gene Mills?
not naming names. Mm-mm.
He ain't no
he ain't no snitch. He ain't no Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, Justin Street, that Mongoose did not get DQ'd. But maybe I don't think if he kicked in the head, he said he was like mule kicking. Yeah, maybe he dropped down and
Mule kick a couple
He was
extra
trying to
times.
escape.
he's trying to get away.
That was an accident
What?
as well.
That was an accident.
What did he,
When
what did
is,
what happen?
Justin Street and Grundy wrestling, they like tough wrestling in Grundy High
Okay,
School.
they're not politicians.
Do you know
over
about
there.
no politician? Do you know about Grundy, Ollie?
Teach me how to Grundy?
No. So Grundy is where that was Dresser's first job. He built it. It is like Southwest Virginia, coal mining country, small town.
Okay.
Just
Coal
they
mining country.
were smashing people. Okay. They were amazing. They were in like a nationally ranked team. Then Dresser went from Grundy to Christiansburg and then built them up.
Why?
And then Grundy,
Why did he do that?
I don't know, better opportunity, better job. I don't know.
Why don't you drive a Range Rover?
And then then Grundy and Christiansburg was like, Death Row versus Bad Boy. Like they were like huge rivals.
Who took
Where'd
over
Buffalo Gap
at
fit?
Grundy? Was someone good?
I think his name is Travis Pfizer is the name of the coach. Who was
He's an Iowa guy.
Iowa All-American or whatever. I think he was on a
Ollie,
national
that was a
champion
funny
team.
question. I missed that.
What was the question?
Christian missed that though.
What?
What'd you ask?
You said, "Where's Buffalo Gap fit in that?"
Oh, yeah, where's Buffalo Gap fit in that rivalry?
We are. We occasionally. Yeah, we were never a part of that rivalry.
Who's y'all's rival?
Riverheads.
Riverheads.
Terrible place.
Multiple, okay.
Terrible.
Riverheads is the mascot or the name of the place?
It's got to be both.
Riverheads High School. They're the Gladiators.
Oh.
It's terrible.
They're tough to
Why
beat.
are
And it
they
was the Buffalo.
Riverheads?
Because
Buffalo
where
Gap Buffaloes?
the heads of the river converge.
Why wouldn't it just be Riverhead? Why is there an S?
Listen, this is part of the problem. It's a stupid school. I can't stand them.
They should be the Riverheads.
The Riverhead Rivers.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they should have been the
Are you the
Riverhead
Buffalo Gap Buffaloes?
We're the Buffalo Gap Bison.
Okay, all right, switch it up. I like that.
Yeah, change it up.
Yeah.
Back
Back in Long Island, this is serious. There is a East Rockaway Rocks.
Ben, were you the Arrowhead Arrows?
We were not. We were the Warhawks.
that's
I
pretty
cannot think of
badass.
another stupid name. I wish I could participate in this conversation. Maybe I'll Google stupid high school mascots.
There's a high school called Rural Retreat.
In Colorado, we had a couple agricultural-based mascots. So we had the Brush Beet Diggers, the beet farming community, and the Rocky Ford Meloneers, which
Ooh, a Meloneer.
big melon farming community there.
There's a high school in West Virginia Polka
Good
High
segment.
School. What do you think their mascot is?
Haunt us.
The dots.
The Dots.
I got a good
way.
one.
Yes.
Polka dots.
They are the Polka Dots, but it's POCA. Polka is the name of the town and the high school, and then they're just the Dots.
Yikes.
Wow. If they don't get
All
a
right,
Dippin' Dots
Hoopiston-
collab,
The Hoopiston Corn Jerkers.
Oh no.
I do not want to be a corn jerker.
Oh no.
Greg, what were those imagination schools that we found
Oh.
in Arizona?
Yeah. So Arizona, where Larkin's kids go and stuff. What's the name of that school?
Valiant Prep.
Valiant Prep. Their league, the league that they're in, is like all these schools that the name of the school seems made up. There's one called like Imagine
Prep Surprise.
Imagine Surprise.
It sounds like a recipe.
There's one called Imagine Inspiration. You're like, how are these schools? But they are, and they're like, so they're not sanctioned by the Arizona High School Activity Association, or whatever it is. So they just have their own little separate league, and you have to imagine Valiant just probably just kills everybody because those are schools that probably have 3 guys on the team.
Some of those teams sound like they could surprise
Oh.
you.
Yeah, I mean, you can
Here's
imagine.
a good one. Chattanooga Central, the Purple Pounders.
Oh man. I don't know if I'm not touching
What?
that.
That's fine. Like the Purple People Eater.
That's not what it's
You know?
like.
That's not what it's like.
Yeah.
We got some good ones in the chat.
Oh, let's go.
Waters Meet Nimrods.
I like the Frankfurt hot dogs.
Frankfurt Hot Dogs in Indiana.
Hot
Makes me hungry.
dog.
Monroe Cheesemakers. Do you know about that one? That one's in Wisconsin.
Oh, that's
Thing.
Wisconsin, baby. That's
Yeah.
southern Wisconsin, yeah.
Wait, you know that school?
Yeah, of course.
You know about
They
the
have
Monroe
decent wrestlers
Cheesemakers,
once
and you
in a while.
didn't think of that school when we were thinking of funny names?
Ben
I did
got
not
5
think of
pins
that.
at the Monroe Cheeseburger Open so he could pad his hog
I
stats.
don't think I've ever actually been to. Well, I might have played disc golf in Monroe once because at one point I was trying to play every disc golf course in Wisconsin. The closest I ever got was 71 and 74, but they kept making new damn courses too much, so I never got to all of them.
The Esterville, Iowa Midgets.
Midgets, yeah. Hey,
I feel like that's getting canceled.
can't
you
have
know
that
where
anymore.
you know where Tom and Terry Brands went to high school? Sheldon High School.
Sheldon.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what their mascot is?
No.
It's
No.
it's the Orabs. You know what an Orab is?
I do not.
No.
It's a combination of the words orange and black,
But it's
That's weird.
not.
That's bad.
I don't like
which are their
that.
school colors.
Wouldn't it be Orab?
The Orabs.
They just are like, let's make up a word
I
that
don't like that.
describes the two colors.
Christian, do you know about the Phoebus
like that.
Phantoms?
Phoebus, that's yeah,
that's-
you know who
that's
went
funny.
there?
Phantoms ain't weird. That's
Phoebus,
cool.
it's by the beach.
Boy.
Miami had that Miami had a quarterback from there when they first were like back. Miami was back.
The first time they were back.
The first time they were back. Anyways, I can't remember his name.
I'll look it up.
If you look
Look
up,
it up.
yeah, you'll
Dan Marino.
Taj Boyd.
He went to Clemson.
Todd Boyd.
No, wait, no, it's not him.
Okay.
So you lied.
Yeah, I lied. But he's
Christian's
from.
all
There's a
right.
good guy from Phoebus. He played
right, we're good.
football at Miami.
You sure?
No.
Maybe you're just
Well, I'm
mixing
not
up
sure.
orange teams. Miami's orange and Clemson's orange. Right?
Orab. No, I know. I'm not wrong. There's a guy. I'll find.
Freeport Pretzels in Illinois.
It.
We have a Freeport-
All right, let's go. Next topic. I'm done
Sorry,
with
this is
28.
No,
fun
this
now.
is good. Let's keep going. We know where the money's
I'm
at.
going to take a piss. I'll be right back.
No!
We're about to go. I'll be back.
We're
2
hanging
minutes.
out! We're hanging out!
This
Oh,
guy.
he left.
Oh, okay.
That's two unexcused absences in one episode. What the heck?
Benny P breaks over here.
Yeah. Like I'm not hurting right now?
Yeah.
Like I don't have to go?
You know my bladder's broken twice.
I am so much
I peed myself.
I am so much mentally tougher than Ben Askren, it's not even funny.
Was it Xavier Adibi, Christian?
No.
Christian's making this person
I'm gonna
up.
find it. I'm gonna find it.
Dan Marino.
Cody Arnold said Minnesota has the blooming prairie awesome blossoms. I don't know if that's real. I could just be saying stuff now. UC Santa Barbara
That
banana
sounds like a
slugs. That's
menu
real.
item.
Yeah.
That's real. Brian Alex and Kill Sanderson's wife was an Esterville midget.
Yeah.
Midget. Okay.
Midget and midget. That's good. That's wow.
I didn't even know they were gendered like that. I assume that's what's going on there.
Yeah.
Jimtown Jimmy's, that's real. Scottsdale Community College, Brian Alex, he was a fighting artichoke.
Oof.
Very dangerous.
That's awesome.
All right,
I like my artichokes to have a little fight in them.
All right, here's our fighting artichoke, Ben Funky Askren.
Are we done with high school names?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we-
we were waiting on you to get back.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Feel much better.
All right. Next question: who will finish with more
Ben
world
seems relieved.
Olympic titles? Gable Dan or Dan Gable?
Oh.
No.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ben, you got to make the noise now. Oh, he did it.
Oh.
I feel like you gotta say
Well, it's,
Dan Gable
yes,
because
because he has 2.
Gable Dan only has one shot.
Unless he sticks around for like 2 months and then gets another one.
Oh, that could be interesting. But you know what though? It's if he wins the Olympic title, again, this is the pinnacle of wrestling. And if he's gonna leave, if he's gonna stick around, Gable. We'd love to have you. You're outstanding. But if he's gonna leave, that's the time to leave. To win the Olympic title, say peace, I'm out. If he's gonna stay, I think he could win them back to back.
Yeah.
I hope he does. I'm in the opposing force against Ben Askren. Ben is trying all he can to get Gable
I'm not
out of
trying.
our sport and into WWE, and I am just trying to keep him
I'm
there
not.
just as long as we can. The WWE will be there. He'll be able to jump off the top turnbuckle and enter triple threat tag team matches and do all the fun stuff with Jim Mullen. But can we just try to keep him for a little bit? That's all I ask.
You're being selfish.
Yes!
Yeah,
You're being selfish.
I'm not cheering one way or the other, Christian. I'm just making recognition of the facts that I saw him at WrestleMania. I saw him take a picture with Triple H. Man,
Ric
right, he's
Flair.
kind of going to be on the
Matt
wall.
the Bachelor.
Now,
Who's Matt the
who's
what?
Matt the
Bad
Bachelor?
Bunny?
Is that a
He was the
What
guy
in
that
the
was
hell?
on The Bachelor.
Yeah.
He
now
took
he's
a,
a wrestler?
What?
No, I don't know.
No,
he was
he
the
was
Whoever
taking
just
Gable.
said
WrestleMania.
that guy gets kicked off. Kick that person, whoever that was, kick him off the show.
What? Who?
Oh, that's his
that-
name's
I don't-
Kyle.
It was
What?
Bratke? I couldn't hear
You
if
saw
it was
me
Bratke
say
or Ollie.
it.
So Bratke
I couldn't. I'm
watches,
looking at all of you on the screen.
Yeah, so we just waiting.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Matt the Bachelor took a picture with Gable. I don't know what you want me to say.
Kicking him off.
Matt the Bachelor
Christian.
sounds like a wrestling name.
He also
Christian,
took
like,
a picture with Bad
must be
Bunny, too,
fired.
international superstar.
Oh yeah, Bad Bunny.
I don't know who
Ben,
that is.
I don't know how you are as a manager for your
Life?
coaches
Oh, okay.
in business, but you got a quick trigger finger on the firing thing, at least when it
If
comes
they
to the
watched
people
The
I work
Bachelor,
with.
they'd be fired.
So if you found out your Max Askren, if you found out he watches The Bachelor, he's out.
Max does not watch The Bachelor. He didn't watch nothing. He's a strange hippie man. Tristan, I almost fired Tristan because he played too many video games. Way too many video games. He almost got fired.
Yeah, video games. Video games are bad. Total waste of time. Trying
He
to.
loves video games.
That's unfortunate.
Yes.
What?
Video games are fun.
One of our coworkers just said, been smoking crack and listening to DMX all night. He definitely has. He
He
just
just chatted me.
He just likes to
Listen,
say
if you
things for
smoke
shock
some
value.
crack and jammed out the DMX, do you know how much work you'd get done? You'd be like,
I don't know. You know, I don't know a ton about crack, but I don't think those that are addicted are the most productive members of society. I don't think it helps
Never
you get
know.
things done. And with that, yeah, you never know.
Hang on, I got something here for Ben.
Oh, here's Matt the Bachelor. Is this the new tag team duo here?
Matt the Bachelor and Gable.
Matt the Bachelor and Gable, dude.
Wow.
Look at him.
He's really short.
What? That's a swaggy
don't
pick.
let that smile fool you. I don't get it. Are they a tag team now or something?
Yeah, you
Maybe.
gotta do that.
I think
Maybe.
it's possible.
He played Matt the Bachelor. He played wide receiver at Wake Forest.
Oh, snap.
Got it.
Okay.
What a tag team duo.
What a tag team duo. Triple threat rage
Yeah, until
brigade.
Jim Mullen comes through.
Or maybe Gable's the new Bachelor.
We didn't think of that.
Gable
would
ain't
watch
ready to
it
settle
then.
down.
Hey,
Damn
Ben,
it.
you'd watch
Too
it
young.
None of
They're
those
too
guys
young.
are ready to settle down.
I
They
wouldn't watch it.
He's going to win the Olympics.
That's why
He's going to
tell
settle
my
down.
wife. I try to tell my wife, you're out here trying to watch the people find true love. These dudes are just trying to hook up with a bunch of chicks. Isn't it
Yes.
obvious?
That's what
Hello,
they're
McFly.
That's what they're doing.
Oh, Ben just spoiled all the reality TV shows for everybody. he solved it.
Oh, man. All right, and with The Bachelor, we'll go. I think that's when you know
All
it's
comes back.
time to go.
Yeah,
All
it's
comes
We're get
back.
out of here.
Hey, I'll see you guys in my home state. Kyle, when do you fly out?
Tomorrow morning.
5:45 a.m.
No,
right here.
the other way. The other way. Go the other. When do you go the other way?
Oh, literally Sunday night.
Hey, so why don't we do Haunchyville on the way out?
Oh, I'm in.
I
I'm
wanna
in.
come.
Yes. Yes, I'm in.
Sorry, Ollie. Look at Ollie's sad face. Oh man.
All right, see you
So
guys in
pathetic.
Wisconsin.
See you, buddy.
See ya.
Thank you. Thank you guys for listening.
Peace.
Cadets starts Friday. Watch. Thank you guys. Goodbye.
Bye.